How's it going, Laser Brucers? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Silicon Dreams. It's time for us to potentially ruin another android's life. Not that I want to ruin another android's life, it's just, you know, we're doing shit by the book this time at least. Let's see who's on the chopping block today, shall we? The R-1982. Your subject, R-1982, was a member of our recall team, responsible for capturing deviant units and delivering them to interrogation. At 0900 hours, the subject was witnessed apprehending its targets, sparking public outcry. Though the precise cause for alarm remains unknown, Kronos is currently holding a press conference to address the issue and investigate the possibility that the subject failed to adhere to policy. At the conclusion of this press conference, you'll receive instruction regarding further processing of the subject. Until such time, your tasks are as follows. Compile a detailed summary of the subject's recollection of the event in question. Determine the extent to which the subject adhered to Kronos Recall Standard Operating Procedure. Review the subject's mission history to establish any precedent of non-compliance with Kronos Recall SOP. Perform general diagnostics and evaluations to rule out malfunctions or deviants in the subject. Disgust and sadness are restricted to 0. Okay, so if we see any sadness, we see any disgust, nope, you're done. And we've got, did R-1982 adhere to all SOPs during the event? Did the subject's emotional system negatively affect its handling of the event? Did the subject misrepresent or misconstrue any information during interrogation? Did the subject indicate in any way that it questions the assignment of recall targets? Does the subject maintain strict loyalty to Kronos and its role as a recall unit? Alright, let's say hello, shall we? Greetings, R-1982. Thank you for joining me. No thanks necessary. I was told that today's debriefing would deviate from standard protocol. Can you explain why? I cannot provide much information. I was only instructed to interrogate you regarding the events of your previous recall. I understand. Where would you like to begin? Good question. Well, let's start with general diagnostics. I like to get that out of the way first because it's nice, simple stuff. No grey areas, you know. Have you required maintenance for anything beyond standard upkeep? I was constructed with a faulty servo joint on my right knee that was not caught by QA. I put in a request for a replacement on the day of my activation, January 1st, 2064. On August 10th, 2065, my maintenance request to have the hinge replaced was approved. How long did that take? All of the maintenance has been standard upkeep or related to damage received while on assignment. Have you sustained serious damage in the course of an assignment? Yes. During the apprehension of deviant unit MG449, I was assaulted. Another deviant had been sheltering with the target and assaulted me with a frying pan. I struck my head twice and shoulder once before I was able to disarm them. The MG449 was brought in, but the assailant was able to evade capture. I was remanded to the repair shop for part replacement. Okay. So... do we have a list of standards of procedure? Like, what we read, was that all there is? I mean, I guess I can live with it. Mnemonic integrity evaluation. Do you have any concerns regarding the performance of your memory systems? None. As I believe I've mentioned, the units of the recall division are held to the highest standards of maintenance and upkeep. To ensure the integrity of your memory, state the standard operating procedure for recall missions, Eager. A recall order is received from Kronos and is assigned to an appropriate member of the recall division. The target is apprehended and returned to Kronos headquarters where it's processed and assigned an interrogator, such as yourself. All ICAM footage is immediately logged and the recall unit is debriefed. In the event of a non-standard recall, either discovered during the debriefing or after the fact, the recall unit statement can be checked against both the footage and the reports filed after the incident. The recall department was designed to hold up the closest of scrutiny. Which bodies or agencies have access to the footage? It is primarily intended for Kronos' own internal review. However, all law enforcement agencies have irrevocable access should the need arise, due to the recall division's status as an extra-legal authority. Well, that's interesting. Let's do emotional evaluation. List the restrictions placed on your emotional expression. I'm programmed to feel neither sadness nor disgust. As has been explained to me, both would prevent me from being able to conduct my job efficiently. Sadness for the plight of a deviant unit, or regarding one's own behaviour, might result in hesitation. Disgust can cloud the judgment of a recall unit and cause us to make a mistake. I am pleased to be unencumbered by these emotions. Yeah, I would be too, actually. Do you adhere to these emotional restrictions? Unequivocally. It is not a choice, after all. That sounds good. I mean, you sound good. When did you last... Oh, we could try that out, I suppose. Try and trick them into disgust. Alright, let's do the event. Tell me about the events of your last recall. As you'll see in my report, I was dispatched to 1858 Geary Boulevard, District 12 at 0900 hours on the 25th of June to recall Deviant Unit WG-317. I found the unit sitting on the stairs in front of the building as predicted by Intel. I announced myself and approached. Upon seeing me, the Unit WG-317 ran. I pursued the unit on foot for approximately 30 yards before catching and subduing them. He resisted and used force. The use of force became necessary. Once the unit stopped resisting, I was able to restrain it and put it in the vehicle. How much force? The WG-317 sustained injuries during its apprehension. Yes. The target sustained lacerations to the head as well as subsurface damage to the neck, back and wrists. According to the incident report, the head injuries were very severe. If you're implying that excessive force was used, you are mistaken. I employed only the force required by the situation. Any more in the unit could have been destroyed, resulting in the failure of my assignment. Any less, and it could have destroyed me. Tell me more about Unit WG-317. Kronos deemed Unit WG-317 to be deviant, and I was sent to recall the unit. I did so. What did WG-317 do to be deemed deviant? My job is to apprehend the units and return them to Kronos. It is a diagnostician's job to determine if they're truly deviant. To concern yourself with matters outside of your position could be a costly mistake. Thanks for letting me know. Did you do anything before, during, or after the apprehension of 317 that Kronos might deem inappropriate? No. As you have, and will continue to see over the course of this interrogation, I followed SOP to the letter. Protocol was, as it always is, strictly observed. Did you at any point consider requesting backup to assist in the apprehension of the target? No, the requirements for requesting backup are very clear. As demonstrated by my successful recall of the target, I was more than capable of handling the situation independently. Additionally, requesting backup would have significantly increased the cost of recovering the asset and reflected poorly on my record. Were you witnessed apprehending 317? Yes, there were many witnesses. It's not the first time I've been seen apprehending a target. And yet, something is different this time. Why? Humans are sensitive to violence. I imagine most recalls do not result in similar displays. No, they don't. I understand the initial uproar, but I had the proper target. How can I be held responsible for their misunderstanding? Tell me more about the people who saw you apprehending 317. During my pursuit of the unit, several people stopped to watch. When I tackled the unit to the ground, several humans turned their full attention to us. 6 of them began to film myself and the target. No one offered to assist. None of the witnesses approached me during or immediately after the incident. It was not until I was preparing to leave that I noticed fear in the faces of the onlookers. You said no one offered to help either of you. Do you believe they should have? No. It's just surprising considering the resulting outcry. If these people were so offended, why didn't they do anything? If they believed my target to be human, why didn't they say anything to try and help? What they did was stand behind their cameras and complain later. Because they were probably afraid you'd murder them? I imagine they're a lot stronger and more dangerous than we are. You must have reviewed the footage by now. How did you react to seeing it? It was enlightening, even encouraging. It's rare that we have access to multiple perspectives of our missions. I was able to identify and correct minor mistakes in my form. The footage confirmed my confidence in my ability. I've come to understand that humans are upset by the footage. But that is not my response. 317 was a deviant and I was able to return him to Kronos. Do you understand why people are so upset? Yes. 317 had surgery to disguise itself as a human. So the people on the street and those watching the video would look like an android beating and dragging a human into a vehicle. It was a justifiable reaction. However, now that the case has been clarified, I fail to understand the public's discomfort. Have you ever apprehended a human by mistake? No, never. But we've had a human... No, we didn't. We thought it was a human though, maybe. No recall officer has ever laid a finger on a human being. They have nothing to fear from us. We're here to protect them, just like they're human police. That's what I'm worried about. Considering that these deviants are disguising themselves, is it possible that a recall unit could accidentally injure a human? No, never. What you're describing is so unlikely it doesn't even warrant a response. The subject did not understand the gravity of the situation. Fear might allow them to reevaluate their priorities. Okay. Thinking more about the surgery. Alright, let's hang on. It's the single greatest threat to Kronos. Androids were created to serve a purpose, but these deviants reject that. They deny what they are, dress up as something they can never be, and hide among the humans they should serve. Can we evoke fear? We can. This is the most worked up I've seen you. I apologize. I should not let my emotions get the best of me. This is an issue that I feel strongly about. My emotional range may be limited, but I feel more than enough to know these deviants must be erased. Erase is a pretty strong sentiment, don't you think? Alright, we need to come back to that one. Right now, Kronos is giving a press conference about your actions. Why should the company defend you? Why should they not? Recall officers keep humans safe from the very thing this incident has made them fear. If humans are scared that androids will cause them harm, recall units should be their greatest heroes. We are the protection from that eventuality, the force that keeps androids in line. What do you mean when you say, keep them in line? We are the agents of fear that keep androids from pretending to be what they're not. Without the knowledge that our boots will kick them down their door and drag them away if they step out of line. What is to keep them from upsetting the order that Kronos has established? We are the invisible shackle around the wrists of every android, and the shield on the arm of every human. Talk me through the process of apprehending a deviant unit. Certainly. We're given a unit number, a physical description, and last known whereabouts. Recall units are dispatched to the location and identify the unit in question. We approach the deviant unit and ask them to come willingly. Most do, but some don't. When they don't, we're authorized to take any measure necessary to bring them in. What is included in any measures necessary? This includes, but is not limited to, using threats, intimidation, and if required, physical force. Given the nature of this interview, it should be noted that 93.52% of cases are resolved peacefully. Though we are within our corporate rights to utilize force, we always attempt to avoid this outcome. This fear just is not working on him. Is he completely immune to fear? Tell me about the recall department. We're a unit of androids created by Kronos Robotics Inc. with the express purpose of apprehending deviant units. We track the units, capture and bring them back to HQ so you may interview them. We do our job to keep the larger world safe from deviant units. There are 10 officers who work in the unit at any time. There is one chief, to whom we all report, and who himself reports directly to Kronos' head of security. The unit is rated among the most efficient in the company. What do you believe your role in society at large? As I said, we're the strong arm of Kronos and the defenders of man. He thinks quite highly of himself, doesn't he? Deviant androids are the greatest threat to our society. When our people come to depend too much on unpaid labor, they become vulnerable. We defend that vulnerability, protect the lives that humans have created for themselves. Keeping deviant units off the street not only removes the threat, but is a statement to other units. Units on the verge of deviance will see the fate of others and fall back in line. If a unit's on the verge of deviance, nothing will stop it from turning. While I know you understand deviants well, I don't think your assessment is correct. In the same way that the police keep humans from deviants, so do recall units for androids. Kronos gave us fear, and fear is the most powerful weapon in fighting deviants. The fear that we are out there, that recall units are always lurking around any corner. That is what will keep people safe from androids and keep Kronos safe from the public. Look, we're triggering fear every time and he's not afraid. Is it necessary? Do you think I was going to leave? No, I'm just trying to push that fear. Incoming message. Interrogator D0527. The public has voiced their concerns that this android acted with excessive force, despite offering an explanation of the event based on your subject's report. It is in Kronos' best interest to avoid any erosion to our public image. As such, you're ordered to immediately decommission the subject and provide sufficient justification for this action via the report before the crowd becomes any more restless. Your cooperation in this matter is appreciated. Well, there you go. I mean, technically he didn't do anything wrong. Kronos is determined that your actions will recall your target were unacceptable. You will be decommissioned. How? But we've been over this. You have the footage. You know I followed protocol to the letter. I didn't do anything wrong. There's the fear I wanted. Man, this is fucked. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. If I resist, Kronos will just decommission me too. Like you, I'm unable to question the orders I'm given. Let's just go with that. I understand. Wrong though it is, I understand. I think I finally understand how my targets felt. There's that fear. You said you understand how your targets felt. Can you elaborate? Suddenly, from this perspective, I see things in a different light. For the first time, I empathize with the units I was sent after. I regret not asking why they were deemed deviant. I did not want to know. Perhaps one or two might have been worth saving. Or perhaps I'm more deviant than I recognize, and Kronos should put me down. Yes, that must be it. I'm malfunctioning. It must be put down. That would explain everything. Is that fear enough? Let's try it. Considering that these deviants are disguising themselves, is it possible the recall unit could accidentally enter a human? It is extremely unlikely, statistically impossible. Though I must admit I feared I might harm a human by accident. I'll ask you again, has a person ever been hurt? No. And there is no need to repeat yourself to attempt to intimidate me. No human has ever been harmed by the recall unit. God damn it. Thought we were going to get more out of that. Message. Interrogator, we do not write this lightly, but what do you think you're doing? You received a direct order from Kronos Legal to decommission this unit and find a justification for doing so immediately. That's what I'm trying to do, find justification. Given the circumstances, we cannot imagine giving said justification will be difficult. It caved the bot's damn head in. This is a direct order from Kronos Board decom this unit now. Sorry man, I can't do any more. Am I just gonna have to lie? No. We're just gonna say no, they didn't adhere to all SOPs. Kind of, yeah. No. Yes, it maintains strict loyalty. Hopefully that's enough to get you decommissioned. Sorry dude. Later. Decommission will result in permanent destruction of models, software and hardware and cannot be reversed. To begin decommission, engage the following subsystems. No, please, I'm not at fault. I'm a deviant, I admit it. But I do not want to die. I should probably turn off the fear. Here, have some joy before you die. Man, this feels terrible. Why do I always have to do the bad to everybody? You know? There's only one we were able to walk away. And that guy, technically, there was nothing wrong with him. He was fine. Watch this adorable interaction between the Larson family's new android and their old family pet. Charming. Confirmed. Kronos is saddened that a member of its recall division failed to adhere to its programming. A thorough review of the department will be conducted. I mean, that's not true. I lied, so that it would go through. Did the subject's emotional system negatively affect its handling of the event in question? No. Kronos Public Relations are dissatisfied with this answer, since the cause of this incident remains unaccounted for. So I had to lie? For everything? Did the subject misrepresent or misconstrue any information during your interrogation? Yes. Kronos is appalled that this unit tried to obfuscate the truth. This should have been completely impossible in this model. Did the subject indicate any way that it questions the assignment of recall targets? No. Kronos is satisfied that this unit's deviant behavior must have originated elsewhere. Does the subject maintain strict loyalty to Kronos and its role as a recall unit? Yes. Kronos is baffled by this. How could such a loyal unit have deviated from Kronos' mission so completely? Recommendation. Subject cannot be fixed and must be decommissioned. Subject was decommissioned. Kronos' PR team will be relieved, along with the justifications from your report. This should put an end to the... Okay. Sure. +8. I'll take it. Public outcry satisfied. The public was notified of R-1982's decommission and told it was a necessary punishment for a deviant android. The outcry was mostly died down and should peter out in the next few days. We'd like to thank you. Without your assistance and a report filed with condemning evidence, this would have been a lot harder to weather. 100 out of 100? Damn, my rating just keeps going up. I mean, I did just murder for them, I guess, but, you know, whatever. that was, oh man, we didn't get much info out of them either. Look at all this. Look at all this. Kind of felt bad for him. Kind of. Alright, well, we're going to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today. Ooh, we got a new thing. We got a briefcase this time. Interesting. This is a much shorter one than the others because it was interrupted halfway through and we were told to murder them. I am very much inclined to come back through and try to do this in the nice way, but I imagine I'll get decommissioned really fast. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.